So hey Lawn Care Nation, as you can see behind me, I have a brand new mower to test out. This one's a little bit more different than anything I've tested out before, and that's because it is a fully robotic lawn mower. So this unit is the new Segway Navimow iSeries 110, and this unit will mow up to a quarter-acre lawn. These robotic lawnmowers are starting to gain a lot more popularity here in North America. So why would I, the owner of a lawn care business for the past 19 years, want to try out and test out a robotic lawnmower? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first being, after a long day of mowing customer lawns, I'm tired when I get home at the end of the day, and the last thing I want to do is actually mow my own lawn anymore, and would rather just have it be mowed or taken care of. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to check out the robotic lawnmower. Another reason is that there are already a lot of lawn mowing companies out there that are utilizing robotic lawnmowers as part of their services, whether it's deploying these on customer properties and seeing how they do, and going out every couple weeks and just doing the string trimming or edging, or even just seeing what other sorts of capabilities these have and how you can integrate maybe customer owned robot lawnmowers, and maybe just providing services such as the trimming and edging for customers who already have robotic lawnmowers. Okay, so I just wanted to mention before we begin that during the course of this video, I will be talking about some of the technology that is included in the Segway Navimow iSeries line of robotic mowers at the time of the filming of this video. But these units are just so packed with technology that it would take an entirely other dedicated video just to go over all of the features and benefits, along with the fact that these units are capable of receiving free over-the-air updates as well. I would encourage you to head on over to their website at navimow.segway.com to get all of the up-to-date information on the specifications and all of the very cool features, including the no perimeter wire installation, the RTK plus vision technology, the AI assisted mapping, the vision fence camera with its 150 types of obstacle avoidance, the smart mowing assistant, and so on and so forth. So make sure you head on over to the website navimow.segway.com. So the Segway Navimow iSeries has a bunch of advanced features, including no need for having any sort of perimeter wire installed for it to have any sort of boundaries. It uses RTK technology, which is essentially using GPS satellites. It's got a base station antenna as well as the GPS antenna in the rover, they call it, the mower itself. And that allows it to calculate using the information from both of those GPS receivers within a few centimeter accuracy when mapping out a lawn. And you simply just use the Segway Navimow app to basically steer the unit around the perimeter, just like you would with an RC car or like in a video game, and it will take care of the rest. It's able to mow straight lines. It will change directions with each mow. It has a couple of other neat features we'll get into. But let's first unbox it and check it out. Okay, so I've got everything unpacked and ready to put together. A couple of notes I should mention. Although these are called robotic lawnmowers and they will in fact mow the lawn, they're probably better thought of as lawn maintainers, in that they cut off a tiny bit of grass clippings. There's no collection system or anything like that, so it's essentially just cutting a tiny bit of the grass off each time. Those clippings are depositing into the lawn to be naturally broken up and act as a fertilizer. So you can see the rotating blades there, just tiny little razor blades. So with that being said, with these robotic lawnmowers, it's always advisable to do a first mow of your lawn at the desired height that you want and that you're going to set the unit to cut at. And that way it can just go out and start to maintain that lawn and keep it at that height so that you don't have to go out there and mow the lawn again for the rest of the season. Now, with that being said, it can mow some taller grass as well. It's just going to not look as tidy, and it'll take a few mowings and outings for it to conquer that area and get it back to manageable and looking nice. So you'll notice here I've already pre-mowed my lawn at 2.5 inches, and I left a center section here. It might be kind of hard to tell there. There's a big rectangle right here in the middle that's about 4 inches tall. Thought I would leave that there, and just to see how it handles sort of that taller grass area. The other thing that I should mention is that this uses RTK technology, as I mentioned previously, so it's talking with satellites. Now, the only requirement of this is that you want to make sure that you're installing the base station antenna where it has a very good visible view of the sky. You don't want to have a lot of obstacles in the way blocking its view of the sky. And depending on the type of lawn, like you see the one I have here, it's pretty long and narrow, and we have the house in the way. So with these RTK units that use the satellites, you can actually map different paths, have the lawn mow, or have the mower mow your back lawn, and then work to the front lawn. It'll be able to map out a path through the side, go up your sidewalk to the front lawn, and be able to mow the front lawns as well, and then automatically come back and charge in the base station. Now, the requirement with these units from my research is that both the base station antenna as well as the mower, or rover they call it, have to be able to see the same satellites at the same time. So what that means is, if I set up the base station here with the antenna like I plan to over there in the corner, the satellites that it sees have to be the same ones that the rover sees. Now, that isn't a big deal here in the backyard where they're located in the same proximity. But if I set up that base station in the corner there and have the unit mow in the front yard, because the house is blocking some of the visibility for that base station there, it might not be able to see the same satellites that that mower is going to see in the front yard, and thus you might have some communication issues. In that case, you're going to want to mount that base station antenna up high. You can get kits to mount it on your house roof line and stuff, so that it sees a full unobstructed view of the sky, and that way, whether your lawnmower is in the front or in the back, it's always going to be able to see the same and connect to some of the same satellites that the base station antenna is set up. So let's take the unit over here to the corner and set it up. This is my preliminary section that I'm going to try to set up here, is in this little clearing here where the mower can come off onto the lawn and do its thing in that direction. I've picked this area for a couple of reasons. Ideally, you want to have it at least 6 feet away from a house or a building so that it gets a better unobstructed view. So I'm going to try to get the base station antenna out here, but the shed here provides me the power necessary that I can have it plugged in, so that when the rover returns, it'll be able to charge itself. This little section here isn't quite level, so I'm going to try putting it on there first and seeing if it has any trouble. If it does, I might have to clear that area and be able to level it out a bit before I permanently install the base station there, but we'll give it a shot and see. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the base station installed. Had to clear out a little bit of the area to kind of level off a bit, so we'll still see how it is able to handle that little bit. I've got the base station antenna mounted right here in the clear. Now, according to the instruction manual, the blue light on top of the base station there is saying that that it's getting strong satellite signal. So hopefully that's good in that spot. According to the app now, it's saying to put the mower on the base station to let it kind of configure. I've already gone through the activation process and activated the mower to the app. So now let's throw it on there and see what happens. So with the mower on, the lights turned green, which means the mower is charging. Okay, so I've got the unit set up in its preliminary location. We'll see how it handles the very slight slope that it has on the base station here. I might have to level that out some more. Currently it's charging and it seems to be getting a good satellite reception. So I'm going to pull it off for a second and install this Navimow Access Plus module. This is an optional module that you can purchase, and essentially this gives you a cellular service basically to the unit. So if you're having issues with the distance to your Wi-Fi at home, this will solve that issue. This will also allow you to control the device from the app anywhere and see its progress wherever you are in the world, because it'll be always connected. And this also gives it GPS location as well, so that it can be tracked in case of theft. So if somebody were to pick this up and take it off, you'd be able to see where this unit is, because it's always has its own cellular connectivity. So I'm going to flip the unit over, take it off the base station, flip it over. There's a little access panel there that we can then pop this in. Flip the unit over, and you can see the little access panel there. I'll take the included Allen key there, undo those screws, take the cable there, plug it in, and slide that back in, place there, and put the cover back on. So I have the Navimow Access Plus module installed. It found the cellular and it's doing firmware updates. All right, so I got the mower all set up. Everything seems to be good. The green light around the top of the mower is flashing, that it's ready to go. So the first step here is in creating a map. So it basically wants me to use the controls on the screen. First it's saying to calibrate, so we'll do that. So it's going to find where it is in relation to the base station. And it says calibration successful, now start mapping. So what it's going to want me to do now is to use the controls on the screen that you can see right there. Two little joystick type connections there, very similar to a video game, to basically steer the mower all the way around the perimeter of the yard so that it knows where all the boundaries are, and then it'll take care of the rest in figuring out how to mow the middle. So let's try it out. So I am going to try turning the mower. It's saying to stay about 6 feet away from it, and so start steering it. And just kind of follow behind, tracking where you want it. It's actually pretty easy. Clear these obstacles here. I'm just going to follow along behind it. Now this is just my preliminary map, so I'm not too worried about being exactly accurate. I'm going to have to redo this at times when the garden is not in the way. going to keep a bit of a border there. I can trim. Got a gutter coming up here that I will go around. And then there's a bit of a little nook back here. I'm going to cut this corner. It's a bit of a wet zone when it rains. Some poor drainage. Again, it says to stay about 6 feet from it. So it's got an unobstructed view of the satellite. Little tight corner here, up a slight slope. We've got some muddy areas here that I'm gonna avoid. And then as we round this corner here, we're getting close to the charge station. Okay, so it's attempting to go home for the first time after I finished mapping. See how well it can navigate. That slight slope might be a problem. Okay, so it had a little bit of trouble with the slope in the garden bed. I had to pull the lava rock out, level it a little bit, make sure that the base station is a lot more level, and then it had no issue going back. So time to hit the mow now button and have it do its first mow and see how it turned out. It's very quiet. I'm going to hit the stop button so I can adjust the height lower. I'll try 2.5 inches. It's leaving quite the boundary. I'll have to figure out what that's about. Going around my corner that I purposely left there. See what it does now. It's done a perimeter. Oh, now it's going to do a stripe. So far so good. The Navimow is doing a pretty fantastic job. It's even navigating that slope with no issues. We're about to start getting in to that thicker grass, just the perimeter of it. Where I left it about 4 inches or so, 4.5 inches. You'll start getting that on its next pass. I've got it set to mow at 2.4 inches. And you can see it's going to start to get into this thicker stuff. And as a result, the cut, of course, is not going to be as clean here in this area, because it's a bit taller, so it'll take a few passes before it starts to look like that side there. Going into that thicker stuff. As you can see, all the clippings here left behind as it goes into that thicker stuff. So it'll get it all eventually. If you're trying to cut the lawn that's like taller, But again, that's why they call it more of a lawn maintainer than a lawn mower, and why they recommend that you cut the lawn first. With a traditional lawnmower at the height you want it, you probably have to do that at the beginning of each season. So I'd say don't throw out your regular lawnmower yet. Use it for those initial cuts, and then this will take care of it the rest of the season. It's not bogging down or anything, it's cutting right through it. It's just leaving those clippings are a lot more visible left on the surface. Going back home to charge. So there you go, Lawn Care Nation. It finished the mow. You can see it did a really nice job. Looks pretty fantastic. Super ultra quiet. A ton of great features built into this Segway Navimow i110. It docked itself into the station. Only initial issue I had was just the slight slope of the gravel there. I initially put the base station on that. Had to dig it out and level out that base station so that it could pull forward without any issue into docking into the charging station. But other than that, did fantastic. I went over the lawn really well. Did a great job. Even in the thicker area there, you can see some of those grass clippings left behind where I had the lawn at the 4.5 inch mark, where I didn't mow at all in this middle section, where the rest of the lawn I had previously mowed just before starting this at 2.5 inches. So it was just shaving those other areas and then really mowing that center area there. If you guys are interested in learning more about this mower, stay tuned to the channel. I'll be doing a bunch of other videos on this unit, sharing the progress that I'll be discovering with using this on a long-term basis, learning more about the app, adding exclusion zones and all that sort of stuff, and even trying to do some tests on mapping the front yard and seeing how well it does going around the house and getting to that front yard through different pathways and stuff like that. So that's it for this one, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these robotic mowers.